Hello, my lovely viewers, my lovely people. How are we all today? Here I go again. I said I wouldn't fund the page of videos. It's about the third one this weekend, I think. So coming from Friday. Right, I've had some information through. And you know it's always dangerous when I get my hands on information. This is not to do with me, this is not to do with the council case, this is a whole separate other thing. Right, I've had someone email me regarding a separate harassment case. So this is all new. I'm becoming a bit of an aficionado, I think, on dealing with these things. Apparently people are just seeking me out of the blue now. Now, before I start, there was a post that was put up. I copied it from someone else, I shared it, but it was put up on the Police, the Worst Emergency Service page. And it was basically that the police couldn't stop you taking photographs of them, of other people, public photographs, as long as they're not for nefarious purposes. You're pretty much free to, you know, you can walk around with your iPad if you want around the street going, you know, like this, and basically, you know, there's no harm in that. So I've had a message, as I say, an email from someone who's facing, well, you might call harassment charges, I suppose. I think what the police are trying to prove is that it's going into stalking or something, which really, from what I've read up on the CPS website, harassment has to be kind of stalking before the police even have a case. So, and now just bear with me here. I'm trying to have a weekend. So this person basically wrote to their lawyer and said, you know, part of the case is that I was taking pictures of this person or videos of this person, and they're now using it against me. So I'm like, fine, fair enough, because as you know, kids, there is 3 sides to every story. There's one side and then the other side, and then there's always something hidden underneath. Basically, police officers should not prevent anyone from taking photographs in public, which is what this person has suffered. So they sent this to their lawyer, in the hope, obviously, that, you know, something might be said in their defence. Now, and listen to this very carefully. With harassment, you can do perfectly legal things, but if you know, or ought to know, it would cause harassment, it becomes an unlawful act and part of a course of conduct. Part of the case against you was that you were simply in the street. So how are you supposed to know? This is the 1997 harassment laws, which I dare say were brought in by Labour, to be honest. I know they'd only just got into power, but I'm sure they had something to do with it. It does seem to smack of Tony Blair and his human rights. So really, how are you supposed to know when you're just trying to defend yourself, rather like me with the council actually, because all I've done is hit back at them, to be honest. I've never ever initiated anything. Until recently it was always their move, then my move. So how are you actually supposed to know when you're just trying to defend yourself, when you're just trying to cover your arse basically, that you're actually causing someone else harassment, for example, in this case? I don't know. If any great legal mind out there can explain that to me, that in covering your own arse, basically, you're committing a crime, I'd love to hear it. I really would, because I can't see a case for it, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure I do know a few people that have law degrees. I'm not quite sure what they practice in, maybe. I'm not even quite sure they are, but there's a great thing about, and the reason I say that Labour had something to do with all this, there's a great thing in the Labour constitution that we should just know stuff. Because obviously we all go home at night and read up on the latest EU directive, you know. We don't go home and watch EastEnders or watch a film or go to the pub or anything like that. We actually, that's what these people think. This is the problem, you know, because all these laws that come out, all these ambiguous, miscellaneous laws that the EU churn out and the British politicians churn out. This is the problem, really. So this is a case of, basically, and I think I'm right in saying this, because of the EU, I can actually break a law, not in this country, I could actually break a law that was law in Germany. And because of the EU and because of Tony Blair, basically, if the German police knew I'd broken their law in this country, which isn't law in this country, they could actually come and arrest me and take me to Germany. So that's kind of the mentality we're looking at here. It's, you know, I'm saying here's a guy who's just contacted me, presumably because of my videos and all the rest of it. Obviously the members on Facebook are growing, the subscribers on YouTube are growing. So to my eyes, reading that, he's taken the best possible steps to defend himself, so to speak. And of course the police have used it against him, obviously. But then this isn't far removed from home defence laws, whereby, let's assume someone breaks into your house at night or whatever, when you're there, you can take any reasonable measures, I think it is, or something to defend your home, as long as it's, I think it's either spontaneous or something like that. However, what you cannot do is chase them down the driveway, because if you do that, then you are contravening their human rights. So there you go. It's quite incredible. So here we are. This is British justice today. You know, when I was a squatty, I was a saying in the army for war crimes and the like. Which, of course, we've actually just seen our Royal Marines Sergeant jailed, quite disgracefully, because he shot a terrorist. You wouldn't think there'd be a problem there. But this is modern law and order, under what is still basically a Blair regime. And there was a saying, it's better to be tried by 12 than carried by 6. So, if you screwed it up, and it all went a bit legal, fine. I'd rather go to court, you know, than actually have not done anything on the night and be dead. And this is the problem. It's all about human rights, which is why I don't agree with this thing. It's not that I'm racist, it's not that I'm sexist, it's, you know, but basically in a lot of cases the criminals have more rights than what the person, the victim, the one on the receiving end of, you know. So that side, this particular guy, just be very careful in there, because you don't know what's coming. Seriously, you can say one sentence, and a week, 2 weeks, 6 months later, you can have the police knocking on your door for no reason, or a very little reason. But believe me, if they've got their teeth into it, if someone's going to get a promotion because they're following it up, because they'll get a conviction, they're not going to let it go whether it's right or wrong. And this is what we need to get rid of. So, there you go. Don't defend yourself, because in law, in the eyes of the law, you'll be wrong, and you'll be convicted for doing so.